I did believe myself to be finished with this. I will admit I have some trepidation around this poem. I have various fears, and I do not necessarily know how this will go. But this one, I'll just go into it. It's called Joy Inside Our Tears. Stevie Wonder. He has a song called Joy Inside My Tears. If you haven't heard it, go listen to the album. It's really a gift. Okay. Water into wine, yes, but also the quiet alchemy of broken morning, learning how to sing. Bread multiplied, yes, but also a single hand breaking itself again and again until hunger forgets its own name. Fish pulled from empty water, yes, but also a soul casting a net into nothing and finding a future tangled in its threads. And I understand the doubt, I myself have it. The mind wants receipts, my mind wants receipts. The eye wants proof that does not blink. But tell me what is more unlikely, that a cup becomes celebration, or that a human being becomes a doorway after the world locks every room. Tell me what is harder to believe, a sea obeying a voice, or a person learning to sing without ever borrowing sight, as if the dark itself were an instrument, tuned by touch, tuned by listening, tuned by the stubborn intimacy of feeling. Tell me what is stranger, bread multiplying in hands, or a lineage of ruin passed down like heirloom fire, stopped by one body saying, not here, not through me. I choose the unknown over the curse. I choose the trembling future over the familiar wound. We are taught to marvel at the impossible only when it wears ancient robes, only when it arrives with thunder. But tell me what is more unlikely than a heart that has learned to keep beating after the world has tried to teach it otherwise. There is a body that does not see and yet feels the architecture of music, touches sound as if it were skin, and turns silence into a cathedral. There is a life that steps away from a family inheritance of sorrow and chooses an unknown road, even when fear has memorized its footsteps. There is someone with no shelter except their own stubborn tenderness, building a home out of breath and hope while the flood keeps rising. There are people who were handed ruins and made from a place where others. There are people who were handed ruins and made from them a place where others can finally rest. This is fermentation. This is bread rising. This is the net coming back heavy. We speak of water becoming wine as though it were the summit of wonder. By we, that includes me, mostly me. Yet we walk past people every day who have taken whatever liquid was left to them and turned it into something that can make others feel alive. A child given dirt and somehow building a road out of it. A voice born in quiet that becomes a refuge for millions. A non-profit founder who was shown the bottom of the world's shoe has now used a shoe to connect souls who never knew a world beyond their window existed. What is a miracle if not this? Not spectacle but survival made luminous, not thunder but persistence that glows. Not perfection but mistakes made happy. Perhaps the ancient stories were never meant to make us stare backwards in disbelief, but to teach us how to look at the present with reverence. Water still becomes wine, bread still appears where there was none, empty hands still return fully. We just call it humanity now. I sadly do not know every story. I unfortunately do not know every name, but I have seen enough to know that wonder does not always arrive with thunder and a halo. Maybe the miracle is not the impossible act. Maybe the miracle is the human being who keeps turning what should have killed them into something that feeds. So do not forget. Do not walk past it, if you can, because it does not glow. Miracles are everywhere, and some of them are so unlikely that water into wine sounds almost polite. Thank you.